sent to a third party.
It looks like it's.
Now I will go to the bathroom. Can
Okay,
I do it now?
fine. down to the last note. Very cool.
Pay attention to me.
I'm gonna look up Pit of Fashion. Pit of Fashion. That's a great
It's
name.
a response to my a bit of passion. It lets you know everything I think about putting on costumes to play gigs.
And it actually had, that's like a phrase, Pit of Fashion.
It is?
Yeah, it says, let's see, where did I say it? What is the meaning of, well, the pits of fashion? It means this assertion that Hamilton dresses like the pits of fashion is probably meant to indicate that Hamilton has very poor taste in fashion. But
I know
anyway,
you learn something new every day of the week or every year of the week.
yeah, I was
That's
just
funny.
looking at,
Uh,
and it says,
I thought of it more like fit of passion, just to play on words, which I do all the time. It
right.
gets me in a lot of trouble.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my guest, obviously, Peter Barshay, and great bass player, and I'll say curator at this moment, but we're going to talk a lot about that. But that was his album, Pits of Fashion.
One
Pits?
singular pit,
Pit of
one
Fashion.
big pit.
And when was that made?
We released that in the year of 9/11, 2001.
Oh,
And Milkowski wrote my liner notes for me. I got F. Murray Abraham gave me a little blurb, you know,
yeah.
and it was very unique because I had a band at the Monterey Jazz Festival the year that came out,
Uh-huh.
Billy Childs and Bob Shepard,
Hmm.
and obviously a lot of the people that were supposed to play at Monterey had a hard time getting there because New York got decimated.
Yeah.
And I remember staying up until about 4 in the morning at the Hyatt Hotel there with Kenny Barron, just drinking our proverbials off because
Yeah.
we were lamenting what happened in New York.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is that when I lived in New York, I worked in TV and film sound, and I was in the last just before I moved back to San Francisco from New York in '93 was the year that they tried to blow up the World Trade Center for the first time. They drove a van down into the garage.
Uh,
I was working for CNN, and I was in the pool crew that went down as far as they'd let us into the parking garage below the building.
yeah.
Just a weird thing.
Yeah. Very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky that we live in a country that at least doesn't have a lot of that going on, but it has enough of it so that it's like it's
We'll have to
dramatic
get
when it
into
happens.
defining terrorism. If you can do that. I won't go there yet.
Hi Magic, how you doing? Magic Smith is here. Um, so yeah. So let's talk about that record though. So
Oh yeah.
who was on it?
God, it's a Busby Berkeley production. It's got
Oh, really?
everybody you can possibly want on it. That's Steve Smith is playing drums,
Oh,
and on that Tom Coster was playing organ, Dave Ellis was playing the saxophone, Ray Obiedo was playing the guitar, and this guy Patches Stewart was a trumpet player from Vallejo, I think, up here.
I remember that
And
name.
we used to play with Kenny Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a, there's different people on every track.
Oh, okay.
Mike Stern's on the record. So is Larry Goldings. A
Oh,
whole bunch of people are on this record. And I did it, a lot of it here and went back to New York and did some overdubbing of stuff. There's no vocals on it. but it's all.
Did you work on it in a certain period of time, like a few months, or was it stretched out?
I would probably have to say it's stretched out, but that was a long time ago, so I don't exactly remember. This guy, Nick Tembroke,
Yeah.
um, he's a film writer. He's a trombone player. He lives in Los Angeles now. He does a lot of film work, and he kind of produced it for me. And we did some of it. We did it on ADATs. I still have all the ADAT tapes, and you can't do anything with them. I'm gonna have to recycle them. But I have all the tracks. I'm doing remixes of them. Actually, the Pit of Fashion tune that's on the video you're probably going to play that is part of my Arts for More thing is
Yeah.
I replaced Steve Smith on it and got a different drummer
Yeah.
for fun and to play on it because I'm gonna re-release a lot of this stuff just with different vibes and you know
Oh,
fooling around like people do
yeah.
all the time now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a whole it lives on. But I've never done, I mean, the record label that put it out,
Yeah.
actually put it out, Platform Records went under. And they put out a record with Paul Jackson and one with Mike Clark, drummer, the Herbie
Yeah.
drummer,
Yeah.
and a band from the Great Britain. But that he went out of business. And some company I think in Texas bought the last remaining stock. It got good distribution though. It was a Ryko distributed it, but it just never went anywhere. And he hired a promo person, but she was working on who was the wonderful pop star who I can't remember her name right now. You know who it is, but she went and she was making a comeback, and they hired that same company
Oh.
to cover us, so we didn't get any promo at all. I'm sure I'll remember it somewhere in our period of time. The name. Great singer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know. Um, yeah, so I mean, the subject of putting records out and recording, I mean, it was a lot more poignant, before the last, whatever, 10 years or something, and now it's just changed so much, and it's like,
oh yeah, yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm thinking, I just, I don't know if I want to make records anymore, whole records. I mean, I'll go in
Oh,
the
yeah.
studio and do a project, but then as far as releasing them goes, it's just,
You certainly
might as
don't
well,
need to. I mean,
no,
some people, people do. It depends on how much you work, I would imagine, I mean, some people do make some money off of CDs and stuff and in vinyl, obviously. A lot of people are making vinyl. But I mean, EPs and singles and all that stuff that's the standard now. You can do whatever you want.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's pretty noisy world out there. It's hard to stand out. It's really tough.
It is. And as far as making money back from a
Oh yeah.
full recording, it's really, there's not really the only reason I save my many CDs in the garage is because I go to Japan and I can
Yeah.
sell them in Japan. That's
I bet.
it.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, barely sell any CDs. And I haven't made like vinyl because I just don't have the confidence that I can sell, a bunch of
Yeah.
vinyl.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a whole nother world. I don't even know. I think Pit of Fashion's on Spotify and the new iTunes, the iMusic or whatever it's called.
yeah,
And maybe on others, I don't know. I don't even look at it,
yeah.
you know. That's just me.
Spotify sent an email. I don't remember everything it said, but it was unusual enough that I took notice. It said something like, "We're we're doing better about providing you with money as the artist," And I was like, That's interesting. I'd like
Right,
to see what you're saying,
right.
but other than that, I mean, I'm not, I don't know.
More than a tenth of a penny.
Yeah, yeah. Or, yeah, it's
Whatever.
not even
I
that, is
mean,
it?
that's a whole discussion. That could take 10 hours on this to talk about that. Because I
Yeah,
know a lot of people that do pretty well, and and I certainly know people in the world of Santana and the Dead and all these people that
yeah,
they have merch, they have everything, they have all that, but they have a reason to do it because they're playing huge
yeah.
venues and they're
Right. They have a
well
following for
known. Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. Well, what do you think about, I mean, presently, what do you think about recording? Just in your for your own self. Do you feel like you want to keep recording? And I mean, we're going to talk about the organization that you've created,
Yeah.
but other than that, just like as a personal artist, what do you
Well,
think of recording?
I mean, I have a boatload of tunes which I've never done. I just have snippets,
Yeah,
and I mean, a lot of them are would be ready to produce and all that stuff. I just, at my age, I don't know that I'm gonna ever do that
yeah,
just because I have other stuff to do, and I also do a lot of photography, and that is really compelling to me. But I would, and it's certainly easier to record something and less expensive to record something now, depending upon what you're doing, unless you need, an orchestra or a whole huge thing
yeah,
to do. It's just, that's the same conundrum. How do you get people to hear it? And how, you can record things, but you can't afford to promote it, you know, and depending upon what it is you're doing, and if you have a footprint in social media and can get noticed,
yeah,
then but you don't certainly don't need to record. I mean, I don't know. It's not something I really think about. All of my musical and photographic endeavors now are really in conjunction with the nonprofit that we're starting. So and I think they can work well in both worlds.
yeah.
Have a
Yeah, it seems like what you're doing, the different um, creative actions are now kind of funneled and focused on the nonprofit. Let's talk about that. I mean, we're going to talk about it a lot, but let's just start now. So this is an idea that Peter told me about several years ago, and I was just kind of waiting around to see, you
yeah.
know, when it would come to fruition. And it's come to fruition, but it still has a bit of a
Oh yeah,
roadway,
it's got to.
runway rather. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got to get a financial financial backing and become a real entity that is well funded enough to really start to scale it up.
yeah.
But I don't quite know where to start with it.
Well, why don't you start with where the idea came from? I'd
Well,
like
the
to
i- the
know,
the
the original
idea
idea.
is really old.
Yeah.
I've been trying to. I wrote a tune with a wonderful vocalist around here a long time ago who was. Remember, I told you about the guy who produced the Pit of Fashion record, Nick Tembroke. Um, Her name was Jenny Melcher. She's no longer with us. She and Sandy, the great Sandy Cressman from up here, singer, they had a group called Pastiche up in the Bay Area. And I was very much into since I was was working have always been interested in environmentalism and all the progressive thinking and all that stuff. We wrote two tunes. One was called "It's a Jungle Out Here," and one was called "A Picture Tells a Thousand Words." And this those things were dedicated to trying to get. This was in the era of Live Aid.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
remember doing an interview for CNN once with Bob Geldof, how basically saying how much we'd made a mistake by trying to distribute the food ourselves. They bought all these trucks and then in Africa and they got robbed. It didn't even it was just a really weird thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this my thing was kind of based on an organization that would create like traveling Live Aid concerts and be on a boat and
Okay.
go around to different parts of the world and dock and have a live concert and then move on to another place. And I mean, it wouldn't have cost very much money, of course. But
Of course.
matter of fact, I went up to some guy in the Bank of America building and to try to find out how much it would cost to have a ship that would be dedicated to that. He was trying to, I mean, it was just really wacky. I have a whole storyboard for it, and we were going to produce it. I got the guy James Hansen from Columbia University, that environmental guy. I got a bunch of people to say this is a great idea and sign off a city year in New York. Mike Wolf, the great Mike Wolf, who's one of our supporting artists, signed a letter and all this stuff. And of course, it never went anywhere, ridiculous. And then it morphed through all kinds of different things, all the way through till now.
Yeah.
One was dedicated to one year we had it was the which happened first, the tsunami in Asia,
Yeah.
and Taj Mahal was going to do something with us, and I mean it went through all these morphs, and finally just before the COVID, it got to be an organization called One for All Arts, and we had gigs planned. We were doing announcements for our startup, and the COVID hit, and all the gigs got canceled. And its final morphing is what it is now, called Arts for More, which has a digital component, like digital, which you'll learn about, digital component, and also live benefit concerts. It's going to be a platform where people can collaborate to create benefit concerts, either pop-ups or planned, turn regular gigs into benefit concerts. And it's kind of complicated to put it into two sentences. But
Right. And we have time, so we can talk about each part, or, we can talk about it slowly.
yeah, but
Um, and
the history of it is it's long standing, and it's always been based on my thinking about the world of people that are really doing organizations and people that are doing incredibly important, especially now,
yeah,
work to save the planet from human behavior.
yeah. Actually, yesterday I was at this event. So this place, I'll just show you, because it's probably, I don't think I talked to you about this before, but let's see. So this group of people, it's called the Goodness Tour.
Mm,
And they are these guys. Let's see if I can find these guys. Yeah, these three guys.
hmm
They've been doing this for a few years, and they started going around the world like 3 times a year, I think, to
hmm
traumatized areas.
hmm
Maybe one of the first ones, I think, was the hurricane in New Orleans.
hmm
And so they've been here for the fires. They're still here. They just did this event for Altadena, and now they're doing it for Pacific Palisades. But what they're doing is they come to the area and they create music with people. You don't even have to be a musician. You can just offer a
Yeah, I think
phrase,
I saw
right?
something on a blurb on them or heard
Yeah.
something about them once before. Yeah,
Yeah. And then they do this mural, right? So
yeah,
like this
that's
is
nice.
their, yeah, so they did, so yesterday it was the unveiling of the mural in Altadena, and just, a beautiful feeling. People had been together all week. They had been composing and doing the mural, and a group of different people were giving away food, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the community. It was really, really nice. So, but and of course, well, I don't say of course, they're not jazz people, so the music is more of a singer-songwriter thing. But it's fine, people. I mean,
Right.
it's a good communication, you know.
Yeah. Well, Arts for More is a platform where everybody can do those. It's a platform where you can do those creations, without having to wait for a disaster.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
its point is to integrate into the regular business models this kind of kindness oriented behavior
yeah,
that it's nothing new. Benefit concerts are nothing new. I used to work for Jim Castle up here, who produced all the farm workers, United Farm Workers Union stuff. And we produced Linda Ronstadt concerts and Christopherson, all kinds of people, and in huge places and also in small places. And he did very well. They made a
yeah,
lot of money. We made a lot of money for the Farm Workers Union. But,
yeah,
benefit concerts are nothing. It's not a new thing.
yeah,
It's just Arts for More is providing where people can do it on a platform for people to do it on a regular basis, and
yeah,
do it as part of, and have venues and arts presenters and visual artists and musical artists, at least only starting at this point, the music and visual artists, do these and collaborate, and also all collaborate to promote it as well.
Um, I'm just gonna show the screen.
There you go. Yeah, that's the homepage.
Okay, so this is what Peter's talking about. This is what he's working on.
Mhm.
And so um, yeah, collaboration, creating. Um,
And those things, that the food art drops and the food for thought drops are, they are, well, you can see it. I apologize to everybody for the fact that you you have to do a lot of bouncing around on this, because this needs to give out a lot of information. But if you play that,
right here. Yeah.
yeah.
Great. So, and I want to say it kind of simply. So, um, there's a different kind of focuses in this organization, and correct me, of course, if I'm wrong. So, and the focuses, like for right here, your heart-led contribution. See the second paragraph
Hmm.
to this art drop allows you to collaborate with the children in supporting two nonprofits that matter to students and the musicians. So here's two particular nonprofits
Right.
that at some point will be when
Well, if
when
you
these
yeah, sorry, go on.
when these situations collect money, the money will go to them.
Yeah, if you go to this and you hit donate, you don't have to now,
Yeah,
but whatever you contribute it'll go through us, and it'll go directly to those organizations, split in half. And when you do that as a person who has made the contribution,
yeah,
you will get a copy of the track, an MP3 of the track, old school. I realize that,
yeah.
and you will also get a link to see the entire drop. And the entire drop, they're like online art galleries with music. That's what these both the all the art drops and the food for thought drops are.
So
And
you can come as a audience, right? Or you can also join as an artist as well.
oh, absolutely. Go back to the go back to the home page, please.
Okay.
Mhm. And go scroll down a little further, and you'll see the who do we help. So if you want to be a nonprofit that wants to start one of these collaborations, create a drop, um, you would you would log in there. I mean, go in there and add your information and what you want to
Yeah.
do.
Uh-huh.
And so down further here, you should get to the contact us,
Yeah.
interested in joining and starting
Yeah.
it. And you'd be starting from the point of view of you're a nonprofit that wants to do one of these. You might know a musician, you might know a visual artist, and the same for each of the four groups there back on the homepage.
And when you say do one of these, so
Well, this is a big thing here. Um, when we really have enough funding to build out this platform
yes.
and this company, if an artist is say if the an art go to these just stay on the artists there that and then that way an artist would instigate that and I mean start it and they would have a platform to basically start the whole creation process all on this platform. Right now, when you do that, you get to you just basically tell us that you want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I can't afford to pay for this and build out the whole platform and hire a professional marketing and all that kind of stuff that needs to happen here. But you can see there's some relatively known people that are
Yeah.
supporting me.
Absolutely.
Regine, right here in the on the right, the lower right, she's she's a conguero and she is also a conguera, I guess, I don't know, and also is a muralist. And she created the one of the murals on the arts. The
Okay.
guy on the left there is George Wells, and he used to photograph for the Healdsburg Jazz Festival for 20 years.
Huh.
And the woman in the middle is the daughter of the woman who owns this organization company called um, Menus and Music. And those are the food for thought drops are the things like they're still all online art galleries with music, and they are specifically supporting organizations working in the world of like food insecurity and sustainable agriculture. They're food oriented nonprofits and organizations that are working specifically in that realm. And
So let's say an artist like me um, wanted to be part of this. So I would go in and I would pick, I'm an artist, I'm interested in participating. And then I would also I'd either offer up a charity organization or I can pick from one of your charity organizations that have been vetted. And that's what I would be contributing to. Now, then, am I doing something live and calling it
well,
something, or am I
no,
doing it
if you
online?
could, well, you could choose whether you want to do a drop. If you start off as an artist, you could say, I would like to create a drop, or I would like to turn one of my gigs into a pop-up benefit performance. And when the company's completely built out, you'll be able to do probably 90% of that work via on the platform, right? So you can add all your details, create a page for your your own
Event. Yeah,
Cathy Segal um, artist page,
right.
and you more than likely, since the art, if you do the art drop, you would be you'd probably choose an artist that you really love their work and say, let's collaborate this. And you would do this separate from the platform. And you'd say, you want to do it? Yes. If that person says yes. And the only caveat is they have to have good quality photography of their work so that we can, and then you would collaborate on with that artist, get the thumbs up on it, and a track that you want to use of your own, release, hopefully unreleased, that you want to get new people to hear, but it doesn't have to be. And you choose the organizations that you want to support, or organization if you want to support it, and then you would submit those assets and that content to Arts for More, and we would do the video. You're not expected to contribute a video. You're not expected to do a brand new tune unless you want to do the new tune.
Yeah.
An artist, if it's like the kid in the middle, Caitlin here, she has all her artwork. She's got photography of her artwork, or actually the drop that she's on, and I did all her photography. But you guys would give us the assets, and we'd create the video. We'd create the art drop. Now, art drops are not like they're not like performance videos or your official video that goes out as a pop star. They're art galleries. They're easy edits. They're not complicated, because you want to give the artists, the visual artists, people seeing this, time to appreciate their work. So you're not going to cut in and out of a painting in milliseconds. You're gonna give a few seconds so somebody can see what the art is.
How many art drops can I have?
You can have as many as you want.
So
I
we
mean,
are,
right now, I mean, we
yeah,
have to put the caveat for whoever's listening here. Right
yeah,
now, it's a very initial uh, idea that's being released here with this company.
uh-huh,
It needs to be fully funded to really do what it says it's going to do.
yeah,
The big thing for any contributing artist is you're getting when we are fully funded and have a great marketing department, you will be having a lot more people will be seeing your work.
yeah.
Lots more. The same with the whatever music there is. So it can't do what it's hoping to do right now. This is a very preliminary thing we need to get in front of money to
Right, I see.
really bring it to really make it live.
I see. So
But
are people, you created some drops, but are other people creating drops now?
not yet, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. Let's,
And
I
actually,
mean, that,
the creation process of the drops is all happens. Arts for More does all of that.
yeah.
We're not asking people to contribute finish those things. We're the ones who are going to put the galleries together.
Uh-huh, right. Um, do you had we didn't actually did we didn't really see a drop. We saw an example of a drop
Yeah.
or
Uh,
right?
yeah. Let me see. How can you want me to? You want me to send you one?
I mean, can I
I could
see
send
one
you a
on
link to
this on the
Vimeo.
site?
No, you won't see it on the site. The biggest thing if you want to do, go to the bottom of the home page, please.
Yeah.
And then this is exactly why we did this. Just go to the bottom of the home page, not above that.
Above where?
Yeah. No, no, go up on the page, back up. Keep going. There should be no, this
This
is the artist page. You got to go to the home page.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Okay, here, let me go home. Okay.
Now go down you'll see a whole video down at the bottom. There's Pit of Fashion and Art Drop. Just play that, please.
Okay.
And this is what a whole drop will look like, basically.
Okay.
That's basically what an art drop is.
Yeah.
It's an art gallery
Uh-huh.
that happens with music playing. So, you can see that um, time is taken so that people can kind of absorb what the imagery is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like a pitch deck and a mission statement and all that wrapped into one, that what we just saw.
Yeah. Hi, Joyce. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting to understand it a little more and more.
Mhm. So those are the drops
Yeah.
and the performances, listen more performances, they're all a ways that any musician or any restaurant or any arts presenter can take any of their offerings and make them into benefits that will hopefully and get those listen more performances marketed by to more people through using Arts for More, um, and get more butts and seats, so to speak. you know, which is the whole bailiwick, right?
Yeah.
Customers. So this is just kind of an overview of what a basic TikTok of how it would unfold. We
Yeah.
we'll probably produce some things, but this is more going to be a platform for people to uh, create their own things, whether it's the drop or the benefit, the listen mores. These are
Yeah.
just the first era of things too.
Yeah. And so you're looking for like larger contributors, smaller
Oh, absolutely. We're
contributors.
looking to get in front of kind-hearted philanthropic stuff. We also are perceiving the possibility of, and I've been working on them. Um, I don't know if you guys, if you did you ever play at the North Coast Brewery up
I think I did
Fort
actually.
Bragg?
Yeah, I think I did a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Well, the North Coast Brewery was a B Corp, what's called a B Corp.
Hmm.
And there are a lot of companies out there that have B Corp mentalities and will, fund nonprofits that are doing good work as part of their thinking. It's not an IRS
Yeah,
structural thing or anything like that.
right.
So, although I imagine it has great ramifications for them financially. I mean, the North Coast supported the Monk Institute for years and years and years.
Oh,
It was a great gig. I played there a lot.
yeah,
So, I can see the possibility of something like art storefronts or Saatchi Arts, that's what they do. They're online art galleries that show people's work. And people need followers and they need people to get into galleries and actually put up a show. You need to show that people are going to come to your show. So
yeah,
it's promotional. It's a marketing tool for contributing artists,
yeah,
you know, and getting, and when it gets really done, then we will be able to make sure that all of our collaborative groups, i.e. the nonprofits, the artists, the presenters, and actually and the fans and supporters will have promotional, promotional materials that can just hit send and and get it to get some of their friends to look at it and follow it. And
yeah,
we're starting the process of social now. We have a Facebook and an Instagram and a LinkedIn. And
yeah,
I'm really looking to get in front of journalists, get some reporting on it.
yeah,
I have a feeling we're going to need some events in the calendar and stuff like that before I can get a lot of reporting.
I was just going to say it seems slightly early for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, one thing is I want to, the drops are doing things too. So I want to make sure that people understand just because, we don't have a whole lot that there any events in the calendar, right, which that'll change very soon. Still, we're doing things, I mean, if you went there and made a contribution, you'd be doing something. You'd be supporting a couple of nonprofits work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like we don't do anything. It's just, in order to go, you know, go up there,
Yeah.
then we need to be able to really design the platform and get it really working and scale it up.
So, um, let's see.
So I mean,
Do you,
I'm sorry, go on.
I mean, I know you have a mission statement. Is there, can you, should I read it? Go back there and read it, or can you tell me?
Well, what did I send you?
What did you send me?
Did I
Let me
send you
look.
anything separate? I don't
Yeah,
have an
there
elevator
was a,
pitch. I have a starting point
there's
for
a
an elevator pitch.
biography of you. There's a, I don't know if, no, you just sent me stuff on you. But if I looked at it again,
Well,
and I,
I have a good kind of a little elevator pitch if you want me to read it.
sure, sure.
Okay, Arts for More is a creative arts platform which exists to help organizations working to help some of the world's most pressing problems while providing a way for the work of our creators to be seen and heard and amplified. So it basically says that it's beautiful things supporting really important organizations and a way for your creativity to get in front of more people
Okay.
and be at 12. Remember that? Who was it? More cowbell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. So also, like on the drop, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're gonna have to tell me some shit. Um, on the drops, it had several comments that were uh, about how art is crucial for the planet, for change and protection and growth. And so that's not exactly in that mission statement that you said, but can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, it's obviously your feeling, your point of view.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
My feeling is, and I lived in New York for a long time, both as a player and probably the best time because there was probably 50 duo gigs in Manhattan alone. And you got to play with everybody. And but I also worked in a regular kind of somewhat regular job, i.e., film and TV, way below the line, and work that I did that thinking I could get into film scoring and get jingles and all that kind of crap, but that's wrong-minded. But I ended up as a freelancer in New York doing a lot of different projects for a lot of different TV and a couple films, but a lot at CNN. And I got and CNN wasn't as polluted as it is now. I know the importance of great journalism to let people know what's going on. But I also feel that as difficult and trying as being a musician or a artist trying to make a living, it's nothing. It's a privilege. It really is. And the arts have been used in other parts of the world as for a long time as just fundamentally great things that have social value and social causes, not just, oh, here's a beautiful thing. I think that the arts can help to um, support others that are doing beautiful things, i.e., really kind organizations that are doing things that you don't even want to describe because it's so horrible. And nobody wants to do that work,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
somebody's got to. So my feeling is that um, and especially at this point in time, now that the arts are more crucial than ever to lead the world and help to lead the world in a way that will protect us from, I won't say the words that I'm gonna thinking. We can all interpret what I'm thinking. This organization is taking a progressive point of view here, and I'm saying that we are concentrating on the wrong things as a group of creatures on this planet. And you can play one of the rants. You probably
Okay.
get my vibe. Play the first one. There's really short. Don't worry, everybody.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Let me just
The
get
blue
it
one with the bird.
together. The blue one. Well, they both have a bird.
Well, oh, didn't I send you the first one that's got a beautiful little bird in there? And
I'll show you what.
first,
See, there's two. There's a bird here and there's a bird
oh,
there.
oh yeah, yeah. The brighter bird.
This one.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Here we go.
sorry, that's my fault. Yeah, that's one
Okay.
rant.
That's one rant.
Yeah,
And uh,
there's another one that
I,
says
I was
a little bit more.
I was getting ready to be, like, be, smashed, but that wasn't a smashing.
Anyway, these are just going to be integrated into social media. These little rants.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, so that I mean, that's what I think. And I think that even in this difficult time, that there are an awful lot of people who believe what we're talking about now, way more than you know.
I think so too.
And if you watch the news, which I can't even watch the news hardly anymore. If NPR goes off, it gets screwed. It's really bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, we'll put it that way.
yeah.
Anyway, so I mean that's the essence of this thing. But the whole thing with Arts for More is that it's mutually beneficial for participating artists or presenters, restaurants, anybody to think like this and behave like this because it's gonna get you business for you. And reputations are good to have if they're good ones. And so that's kind of it's built on mutual beneficiality. One act of kindness is gonna be good for you as the person who's being kind, as well as as who's the other kind of beneficiary from your kindness.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm hearing what you're saying, and I think like this, also. And um, I feel like I'm not sure what I'm thinking about. It's like I'm not sure if it's actually like a marketing point of view, or something that it has to do with some kind of marketing, but not marketing far away, but more like this is like, let's just say I was doing this breakfast gig, which I am on Saturday mornings. So how do I tell people about that? What do I say? Short, like it's a breakfast gig in Santa Monica, 9:30 to 1. There's no cover charge. It's really fun, great breakfast. Come out. I mean, just really simple and direct things, and so talking about these ideals.
Well, I'm sorry, go on.
No, it's just I think I always think like that. It's like, well, how can I put this so that more than people like you and me just go of who we think like this all
Well,
the
I
time,
mean,
you know?
just think of it. You're doing a restaurant, you're doing something that's food oriented. Where actually, this is it's come from talking to some journalists now and trying to get this organization covered even at this early stage. We're going to be accentuating the whole world of food and arts and music and that stuff way more. And but you could to go to your example, you wouldn't do it this Saturday because it's a little close. You couldn't, you would turn that into a benefit. You'd have to negotiate how it would work with whoever is paying your salary.
Yeah,
And I mean, and you would say, okay, well, we'll do this and we'll benefit a food pantry or
yeah,
whatever. I mean, there's a million of them out there
yeah,
doing things, and they wanna help. I mean, they're doing it. So that's how you would make it work.
yeah,
Obviously now, if you do that, I can't promise you that you're gonna instead of only getting it in front of 500 people, you're gonna get it in front of 50,000 people to be able to do this. But I'll give you one example. We had a band um, up at the jazz school, which I have been involved with in Berkeley since it started. Um, we had a band called Happy Hour, great band. I'll send you the music. Um, uh, and we had a regular gig planned the day of the Haiti earthquake, and whatever 2010, I guess it was. And I I know, well, you probably don't know who Paul van Wageningen was. He was a tremendous drummer. His brother plays with Tower of Power now. Um, but he was married to somebody whose daughter had a Haiti organization in Haiti that worked.
uh-huh,
And so we took that Saturday gig in a small place, it couldn't fit more than about 75 to 100 people. And we turned it into a benefit concert on the spur of the moment, and supported her Haiti group, Si Enfant for Haiti, and Partners in Health and Doctors Without Borders. And we could have sold out 3 shows so easily. People came to it,
hmm,
but that's disaster oriented.
yeah,
And it Arts for More exists to try to make this. I hate to say it this way, but look at everything like it's getting to be a disaster now. And you know what I mean? We
yeah,
want to prevent having to having this stuff happen all the time.
yeah,
So it's dedicated to putting that kind of thinking into regular business models and regular performance models and have it be part of it rather than something that only happens when X and X and the Asheville hurricane
yeah,
and the LA fires. So I mean, if and it's and Arts for More is intended as a potential when it gets going as a marketing tool for those presenters and people that want to get their stuff in front of more eyes and ears.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Part of part of what I see in my head is that it could be kind of, I guess what you're saying is it could be the new norm. It's as we were speaking about, before even just selling CDs, that's really, you know,
Oh, yeah,
gone by the wayside, so
yeah.
what else? So people nowadays, they're trying to think about live performance, but it hasn't really settled in as far as is um, what is advantageous in that. And this I see as part, like, what it can become as kind of a new norm.
Well, I mean, I would hope it could become a new norm, but um, it is becoming a new norm. I mean, the reasons for needing this thinking is becoming the norm, and that's the problem. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I'm not talking
yeah,
about thinking about CDs and gigs and all that kind
yeah,
of stuff.
it's
I'm talking
life.
about, what's going on our beautiful planet here
Yeah,
that is really, really, it's potentially completely destructive of us. And
yes,
it's not like Rachel Carson just came out of the at it and you know who Rachel Carson was, right? I'm sure.
yeah, yeah,
And or Jane Goodall or any of these
yeah,
people, they said this crap a long time ago.
yeah.
Been warned against it by science for a long, long time.
Not to mention indigenous people.
Oh yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of indigenous chiefs on YouTube, and where it's heartbreaking, it's also, I don't know, it kind of gives, if you're a person who can listen to that and absorb it, it gives a direction.
Yeah.
Also, an understanding, a direction. Um, yeah, but it's exactly what you're saying. It's like, yeah, um,
Well, I mean,
it's a very interesting time of history. I'll tell you that. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to all survive
yeah,
this
right.
history, but
I
if we do, we'll
don't
look
like
back
this.
and we'll go, do you remember?
This is a little bit too interesting for me. No, but I mean, just look, but African artists have been doing this forever, man.
Yeah,
Integrating cause-related thinking into how they launch their careers. It's nothing new.
yeah,
But here, it's so. I mean, this is not just in the arts. I mean, something really has to change to not have constantly being the wealth and power and all that kind of stuff be the highest form of life. That's bullshit.
it is bullshit.
Pardon my
It,
French. That's
it's
that's my
bullshit.
first cuss, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we still have almost an hour. All right.
It's pretty
Get to
unbelievable.
it.
I mean, that, when you sit and think about, when you just sit and think about what reality is, and it's it's like we're on some kind of a planet that is, I mean, it's interesting, like doing all of these shows, 600 shows. Um, I definitely felt over these last few years that, first of all, I was shocked at how much music and creativity was out there. And
Oh
then
yeah.
the other thing that I felt was that we actually literally balance out the planet. Without us, it would just be a spinning ball of dust, and who knows if humans would even be alive, because we're creating connections to God and whatever, however you want to put it, but we're actually balancing out the shit, you know.
Mhm.
So, but it's so
Well,
it's
the reality is, from a scientific or any other point of view you want to take, Mother Nature is going to put us in our place,
yeah,
and that we won't survive that. The
yeah,
roaches and the sharks will survive it. Mother Nature will come back to life.
yeah,
But human beings, we're not going to come back to life if we don't
Right.
take care of business and find the right goals. And you know,
Yeah.
really, it's true. And that's not like, oh, these are impossible. The people, really knowledgeable human beings, whether it's in science or other things, have been saying there's lots of solutions to these problems that we're creating. I don't, anyway, but I mean that's the mission of this, and
Yeah.
and there, I really do firmly believe there are an awful lot of people who believe this.
Yeah, I do too.
Just be great to have a real place where this community and network could
Yeah.
happen. This could
Yeah.
happen all over the world too. It just doesn't. It's not just
Yeah.
in the San Francisco Bay Area or
Yeah. Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Um, I would like to play something so I can go to the ladies' room.
Oh,
And so should I play a cut from your record or should I play a MP4? What should I do?
how long are you gonna be?
Not long.
Play a tune from the record.
Okay, which one?
Um, let's see.
I can show you what they are.
Yeah, please. 'Cause, I mean, I've listened to this record so many times, I know.
Here they are.
Um, yeah, play Stuff.
Okay,
Stuff is a Miles Davis tune, and it's got um, Larry Golding's on it, and Mike Stern, and Bob Shepard.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All
Stuff.
right.
Cool.
It's
Bob's.
funny. It's funny. I just was looking at some of the chat, and whoever was said I couldn't get any musicians.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. Both Goldings and Mike Stern. I went to New York, and a little place at Manhattan Plaza. They charged me more for their cartage than they did for me to play on the record on those tunes. I like $250 or something to pay the cartage to bring the B3 down and Mike's amps. That was it. Hardly anymore.
Oh my God.
I used to play with Stern in his place in 55 grand.
Yeah, I've played there. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play there with Hiram Bullock and Victor Lewis Monday
Oh
night.
wow. Wow.
Goldings, I never played with him playing organ, just piano. He's a great piano player,
He's a
Larry.
great pianist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple recordings of live stuff we did.
Roland wants to know, is Pit of Fashion a CD and how he can buy it?
It is I mean, how do you do it? You mean a hard copy CD?
Do you mean hard copy, Roland, or online? We'll find out. He'll
Yeah.
answer us.
I'm gonna I'm gonna have to get back to you. I mean, you can go on iTunes and get it, I believe. I mean,
Uh-huh.
iMusic,
Okay.
but I haven't put my stuff up. I don't know if it's on Spotify and all that. Might be
So, let's talk about you as a bass player too. I think you and I met at jazz camp.
in the woods.
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
you?
Roland says hard copy.
Oh, I don't have any. They're gone.
There you go, Roland. They're
I
gone.
when the I don't remember what happened, but I was on this. Somebody offered for me to buy the last 250 copies that they made, uh,
Yeah.
and I said, of course, I could. And they never got back to me. So the whatever the content, whatever that's uh, product is, was given to a distributor in Texas. I don't know if they have any. I can try to find out if they have any.
Okay,
I don't
so
think so though.
so Roland, you can get it on Amazon.
Good.
Uh, and it even says there are a few new ones and a few used ones. So I just happened to look at
Oh,
that. So
okay. Well, I'll give you my address so you can send me the millions of dollars that you're gonna.
yeah, that's
I hope
like
you enjoy it,
sometimes
man.
I'm sure he will. Hi, Alan Walker. Hey, man. Um, so yeah, sometimes my husband finds my CDs sometimes online, and they're like $500 each.
Wow.
It's like,
How
all
many
right.
have you sold?
Well, it's not through me, it's through somebody else. But anyway, it's really funny. Um, so yeah. So anyway, yeah, let's talk about a little bit about
Hmm.
your history, you know.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Where should I
I know you're
start?
a great player, and I know you lived in New York, and I know you live in San Francisco, and
Well,
you know,
when I moved out here with my family to Berkeley,
yeah.
it was in 1965,
Huh.
and I was a cellist.
Oh,
I was a pretty good cellist, and I played in the orchestras, the kids' orchestras and stuff, the youth chamber orchestra of the Oakland Symphony. Studied with a woman named Margaret Rowell, who was um, a legend around here, who actually taught Yo-Yo Ma a little bit. She got me into, I mean, but at the same time, I was listening to other things, mostly rock and roll, and I spent all of my weekends at the Fillmore Auditorium and starting to listen to jazz. I had a girlfriend, Ralph J. Gleason's daughter was my girlfriend,
hmm.
and it's an incredible story, but for the first time in over somewhere between 55 and 60 years, I talked to her and went out for coffee last 2 weeks ago. It's unbelievable. I won't bother you with that. I'll tell you that separately. Anyway, so that kind of changed a lot of my musical perspectives. I kept playing the cello. My wonderful teacher got me in to study at the Manhattan School of Music on
Uh-huh.
106th Street, the last year that it was over there. And my best friend, we shared an apartment. He went to the Juilliard Drama School. And instead of studying the cello and I mean I did a little bit of playing in the opera orchestra and stuff like that. All I did was go to the Vanguard and listen to jazz music and look at foreign movies, the failure. I mean, I luckily it didn't cost, $50,000 a year to go to school in
Right.
this was 1969.
Yeah.
And we played all I did all kinds of great stuff like free music in that era. And I pretended to go to the San Francisco Conservatory still as a cellist then in 1970.
What is pretend and pretending to go?
Well, I hardly went to classes. I mean, I did it, I was a total dilettante. I mean, stupid as you know what,
Yeah.
but I did it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of when I started. I tried to pick up the guitar and start thinking about playing jazz music, right?
Yeah.
I was never really wanted to be a rock and roll player.
Yeah.
I immediately wanted to play jazz music. And so I kind of pretended. I studied a couple times with Jerry, the great, I think I don't know if he's dead, Jerry Hahn up here. He was a great player.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that I didn't take to the guitar. So I picked up the bass. And I've never taken a bass lesson in my life.
Huh.
I had did good technique,
Yeah. From
especially
cello.
arco, every that.
Yeah.
And so I just picked it up, and it was like it was the way everything was done then. Even then was you didn't go to school to learn to play jazz. You got good enough that you weren't going to get fired and learn more every time out. And that's exactly what I did with the legendary Ed Kelly and people up here who were, they just took me in and I learned to play that way just by playing tons of gigs and all that. And so that went all the way through until about I used to play at the Keystone Corner all the time. I played there with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And my wife, along with Helen Ray and Larry Schneider's ex-wife, Charles, they were all bartenders and waitresses at Keystone Corner, the legendary Keystone Corner.
Yeah.
And so I started living with Jill, and we moved back to New York in 1978. To New York in the first time in 1978, which was about as good a time as you could be in New York in terms
Yeah.
of learning to play.
Yeah.
Because there was just so many duo gigs, everything. I just played all the time. But my interests were, you know, um, starting to kind of reach into other things. I played all the time. And for some stupid reason, Jill and I moved back here in the early 80s, 81, 82. And I played all the time here. I never had to look for a gig when I got back. I just played all the time at Pearl's, everywhere you could play. And I met Bobby McFerrin. And I was part of his kind of process of getting his shit happening. And I played all the time with him everywhere we went. We did all kinds of things. We played at the Playboy Jazz Festival with Bill Cosby, introduced him to the world.
Hmm.
He had been playing and singing with John Hendricks, some of these people, but what really got him out was Bill Cosby. And so
Yeah.
we played at the Playboy Jazz Festival. And then his career started taking off and all that. And then I decided I want to come back to New York. This is 1983. And then I came back to New York and I continued to do all the playing I wanted to do, tons. It was cool. Lived in the East Village mostly, walked around, played, went to Bradley's every night after I parked my car and got, whatted. Had a great time, met all kinds of people. And Bob Cranshaw and Walter Booker kind of took me under their wings and turned me on all kinds of gigs and stuff like that. And the biggest mistake I ever made in my life was not taking the recommendations of the late great Dennis Irwin and David Schnitter and Bobby Watson to call Wynton Marsalis when he was director of Art Blakey's band, because Dennis left. And they said, call him. We told you to call. And I didn't do it. And that was probably my biggest mistake. And then, and it's interesting because after I moved back to San Francisco in '93, I was playing with Ed Kelly. Wynton came down to play a gig with us on a regular Tuesday night. He played a set with us, and I say, "Hey, Wynton, can I tell you something?" I told him that story. He said, "You should have called." Oh, what is that? Remember Arrested Development, the show?
Yeah.
When one of the guy's main brother says, "I think I've made a huge mistake." Anyway, that's kind of but I got to play in New York with a lot of people, and everywhere from Mingus's big band to a few times with the Monday Night Band.
Yeah.
Just tons of stuff. I played with a lot of people.
That must have been fun. Mingus's
Yeah.
big band. Wow.
Yeah, it was a trip.
Yeah. You also had a playing relationship with Jay Clayton too, right?
Oh yes, yes, we were very good friends.
Yeah.
And played a lot when she was with Frank, because Frank he would play drums mostly, and that was with the likes of Abercrombie and a bunch of different people. But then she moved wherever she went to. I forget where she went.
Seattle.
Seattle, and then she went to Graz too, didn't she? And
I don't think she lived in Graz. No, I don't think she lived there.
Yeah,
I think she in Seattle, and then she went back to New York.
Yeah, and I played quite a few gigs before she left. With her and Art Landy, we used to have really lots of fun playing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart. I loved her, man.
Me too. I loved her.
She was a fantastic creature.
Yeah, really.
I remember playing at Jimmy Garrison's. They had a loft down on Broadway, and they had house concerts there way after he died. And I played there with Jay and Abercrombie, and I think Larry Carish was playing piano.
Larry Carish,
and Frank. And I did, a bass intro, kind of like, whatever the famous one that Jimmy does. And I swear to God, I felt his presence in that place. It was a trip. Anyway,
yeah, that's great. Those must have been amazing times. Just
it was great. I mean, there was every duo. You could play so many duo gigs. I played, once with Jimmy Rolls at Bradley's for a few nights.
Wow.
And one night Tommy Flanagan came in, and I'm, here I am, 13 years old. I'm up there, no music, and Tommy Flanagan, I don't know if you ever went to Bradley's, but the piano, the bar was, let's see, now I got my thing mirrored here. You'd walk in and the bar was there, and it was just a duo place. If there was ever a drummer there, they played on a phone book with brushes.
Yeah.
But I'm playing with Jimmy, and Tommy Flanagan comes in, and he sits down right down by the piano, and they just said, "Hey, do you know this one? You know this one?" And they just got up. They didn't play through the whole tunes. And I'm supposed to be playing it there, and they're playing the most esoteric Great American Songbook you could ever play in your life, every tune you'd ever want to know. And I'm up there going, But what's really funny, I hope Miroslav will never hear this, but somebody said, Miroslav's here. You want to let him sit in? And I said, yes, please. And he sucked way worse than I did. I was really happy. He's as great a player as he didn't know any tunes. It was funny. I had the same experience with Shirley Horn, kind of.
What experience?
Well, this is I can't remember exactly when it was out here at Yoshi's
Yeah.
because you remember her legend long-term bass player Charles Abels was with her.
Wow.
Played
Yeah.
electric bass too. He got a blood clot on the plane. She had 4 days at Yoshi's.
Oh, damn.
And so he didn't get off the plane. He went right to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And they had to call Peter Williams, who booked and managed Yoshi's, called me. He said, "You want to come and play with Shirley Horn?" I said, "I was getting ready to go play tennis. I was heading out to play tennis." And I said, "Of course. No, what are you crazy?" And I did. No music.
Wow.
No music. Just me and Steve Williams playing drums, and me and Shirley Horn, and no music.
Wow.
So, and here I'm in a suit, which makes me uncomfortable in the first place. And I'm up there, and she was the sweetest person. Steve took great care of me. I got through everything. I don't know how I did it, but I did. And and she was fantastic because she had I forget who told me this. If she was in a place for a long time, she made sure she got some kind of a hotel that had a kitchen in it.
Oh,
And she would have like a wrap party afterwards and make and cook for everybody.
wow.
So I stayed up until about 7 in the morning with her, just getting fucked up and having a great time talking. It
Wow.
was wonderful.
That's so
But
cool.
it was really a trip.
And how are those slow tempos?
But yeah, a lot of time to completely mess up. I don't know. I don't really know how I did it, to tell you the truth. And I wasn't like I didn't drink or anything
Yeah.
much. I was playing,
Yeah.
but man, I don't know how I did it. I probably did a little listening, but you expect for arrangements to have tunes.
Yeah.
I mean, to
Yeah.
have charts and shit. But she had 25 years with Charles. I wish
Wow.
I should have gone and met him, but I didn't in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell this story to my students. I was in my music room listening to Shirley's recording of In the Dark. And it's just me, right? So and it's really slow, right? In the dark. In the dark, right? And in that period of time, I literally started blushing
Yeah,
because I couldn't help thinking about what was going on in the dark.
yeah.
I mean, wow, the power of space, it's just that's
But
why I
that
like to
that
tell
that
my
tempo
students.
was a little bit fast, don't you think?
Yeah. I think it might have actually been a little
Relax.
bit Oh my God.
Oh
We do
yeah.
we do have a woman on here who has been to Bradley's, Joyce Glasgow. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys know each other, Joyce. But anyway, Bradley's was such a great place to hear
Oh,
everyone in a
it
casual,
was like the
intimate,
union hiring hall
inexpensive.
of jazz music.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody went in there. You didn't pay to get in. If you knew the bartender, you didn't have to pay for any drinks. And everybody went there after work.
Huh.
I mean,
Yeah.
the kind of more the tourist type customers or whoever, they
Yeah.
came in there early, but then everybody'd show up after gigs,
Yeah.
stay there and get, whatever out of it.
I
But
almost
it
moved
was
to New
quite,
York
quite a
when,
place though.
yeah.
Really, really unique. place.
That was in New York, right? Or
It was
San
on
Francisco?
University Place in New
Yeah.
York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I often wonder what my life would have been like if I had gone to New York instead of staying in LA. I'm from Boston and I went to San Francisco, then to LA,
Mhm.
and I was just about to move to New York. I was 20, how old was I? 21 or 20? No, I was 25. And I met my husband. So I never left. But yeah, I thought, wow, if I had gone to New York, it would have been
Be
interesting.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really an amazing. I mean, I don't have enough money to. I would go back in 2 seconds, but you need twenty
Yeah.
million dollars to have a three, two bedroom apartment. But it's changed. I know everybody tells me I haven't spent any time there
Yeah.
really for a long time, but it's completely changed. But
Yeah.
still, it's where everybody
It's
goes.
yeah, it's still great, but it's definitely, yeah. It's not like that time period. But nothing is really,
No,
right?
that's really true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, gosh, you had so many great life lessons. You just absolutely, I mean, listening to how your career went along and your life, you just it's like lessons from here to the moon, right?
If you, yeah.
A few. Yeah, I had a few lessons.
But my biggest thing was that I didn't really, and I just didn't make the right decisions. I didn't really, there's things that I didn't do that I should have done, and I didn't really think about the ramifications of the things that I chose not to do.
Like that Wynton Marsalis thing. What else, if you want to
Well,
share?
just when I worked at CNN, and I was there a lot, a whole lot with a lot of people, because CNN was, the New York bureau was it was different. It was all Atlanta and Los Angeles and New York. And New York was just basically the UN and then the world of money. But and at that time, I'm not sure if they still do this, the sound and video and stuff like that was just changing its whole technology. When I did it, you used to have to carry a tape deck and all this stuff. It was just really ridiculous. But then, in the era that I was there, also they had switched over to the big cameras that had the tape deck in
Oh,
so everything was a lot more portable and a
yeah.
extremely durable technology. But I was off. I was told, I don't know, countless numbers of times by people that if you want to learn to shoot, you can, and there's a camera that you can go and learn how to shoot, you know, do the videography. And if you want to learn how to edit, go to the library and re-edit a story and see and learn how to do it. And I never took advantage of it. Just things like that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if I stuck with the cello, I would have been good enough to have gotten in. I don't think I was a soloist, but I could have gotten into a top 10 orchestra. But I had terrible demons of audition demons. I didn't. It made me really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I you know, I I probably should have stayed in New York and not come back here, but too late now.
It's
There must be a
interesting.
song in there.
Yeah, too late now. Yeah, it's just interesting looking back. You 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 look back and you see. I mean, I personally feel, and I feel it a lot because I try and absorb something new every day, either in reading or watching videos of philosophy or playing music, and so I feel I notice that something like subtly was underneath my awareness, and like I might go, look at that. Oh, that was like right in front of me. How did I not
Mhm.
see that? But
Yeah,
that's, I mean, that's this life, right? We're growing. I mean,
yeah.
that's the whole thing.
Well, it's hard to notice everything.
Yeah, I mean, you're
And
doing the best you can, right?
yeah,
In the
and
moments you
and
are.
you never know when the thing you don't notice is the thing you should have noticed. You can only know that in advance, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, staying in present time is probably the most valuable thing you can do. And actually, this indigenous chief that I've been listening to made an interesting point. He said, he was talking about that, and he said, Earth is always in present time.
Mhm.
It was like, yeah, that's right. Earth is
Yeah,
always in present time, you
yeah.
know?
And you better get your shit together if you want to be present during the present times if you don't take care of business the right way now.
Yeah, man.
Just a
Yep.
lesson for the human species, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's really interesting. What is, besides, I don't know how much work you do on Arts for More right now, which some of you who came on possibly later, we'll go back to it before we leave. But Arts
Mhm.
for More is a nonprofit organization that Peter created after many years of thinking about it and developing this idea that, just in my own words, combines art forms and is kind of leading into actions that will share art with general humanity more. And how was that? Was that pretty good?
Yeah, except for it's kind of sharing the art for other reasons other than just art for art's sake.
Yeah.
It's art for more than art's sake. That's
Okay.
art because we're trying to use creative beauty to support those who are doing stuff that isn't artistically creative beauty, like the beautiful of a beauty of
Right.
a kind act and the work in an organization would do to kind of amplify those things.
And thus your name, Arts for More.
Yeah, yeah, arts for more, art,
Yeah.
art, art for more than art's sake.
Art. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Uh,
uh, you know, yeah, it's very hard to congeal this into a perfect one sentencer.
I know.
It really is hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like pitching a movie.
Right. Yeah, well, it'll firm up, and I think it'll become a little more easy to talk about as
Yeah,
time goes on. Um, and but I wanted to ask you what you're mostly working on now. And I know, by the way, your photography is beautiful, and so these days, you're what are you working on these days?
in what realm?
In any realm. What are your
Well,
days like?
I'm working to get this organization really developed and happening
Okay.
in the way that I envision it.
Yeah.
But I'm also want to include my, you know, after 75 creative endeavors into it,
Yeah.
which I got tons of them. I have tons of stuff I want to do,
Yeah.
both as a photographer and as a musical person
Uh-huh.
to produce and get that stuff seen and heard.
Yeah.
And for, in a different way in terms of the how you people see it. Like that middle photograph is McFerrin's daughter, Bobby McFerrin's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Can't you see
cool.
her face? Saying she looks just like him.
I can't. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little improvisational. Yeah, so yeah, this is a really interesting organization, Joyce. It's called Arts for More. And yeah, as I said, he's been working on this a long time, and it's not quite firmed up, but it's getting that way. He's looking for
Yeah, anybody
sponsors.
who wants to know more about it, just go add yourself as a, in a contact. Almost all of these buttons will let you add your contact and send a message if you want to learn something specific about it,
Yeah,
or if you want to participate in it. We're operating under a fiscal sponsorship from Intersection for the Arts now, so any contributions and all that are totally tax deductible. And I've applied for our own 501(c)(3), which is up in front of the IRS now. But anything that anybody that would contribute now is eligible for tax legitimacy, or
okay.
you don't have to pay,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Um, did I miss did I miss something? Did you have
No.
another thing you asked me? I can't
Well,
remember.
I was just asking, what are you doing now? What are your days like?
Oh, I'm trying to get this thing off the ground, and the social media is not my chosen place. I'll put it that way. So, I'm working on trying to create content for stuff for my marketing consultant to get around. We're starting to do that. I'm going to
Mm,
be doing some little, more influencer oriented clips of music and talking and stuff like that. And I'm also looking to get the next round of actual art drops and food for thought drops. Um, Starting the process of getting people to do them. And I'm really gonna orient it towards vocalists, because we don't have any vocalists on these first set of them. And also, I want to get this in front of non-jazz, to new school thinking, new school creators, you know, hip ones, not ignorant ones, um, to do, to get it in front of young people. That's the biggest thing here, is to get it in front of younger creators.
yeah,
There's no, any one art form is completely fine.
yeah,
That, art drops could even be, you know, comedians doing a routine and have a slideshow going on while it's happening. I mean, it can cover almost anything.
yeah. I wonder.
So
I've been brainstorming with Rocco Samazi. Do you know him?
I know the name, but I don't know.
He lives up there. He used to own a place called Rocco's, which then got sold and became Vibrato down here. Um, and he down here he's been a consultant to the Blue Whale, and also
Yeah.
he's run the Angel City Jazz Fest for 16 years, and that's creative improvised music. And I've been brainstorming with him because I want his festival to be better known. It happens in the fall. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, so I was just thinking about that. That might be uh, something that I should
Well,
hook up somehow.
I'm talking to Mark Isham about doing something. He and his wife might do a drop. We'll see. Don't I'm not obviously guaranteeing him anything. There's a and Joe Lovano and his
Judy.
and Judy. She does a lot of art work too.
Yeah, yeah, right, right.
So oh, that was something else I was going to tell you. What Rocco? What kind of a festival is that?
It's called the Angel City Jazz Festival, and
Free,
who knows
like
what to
free
call
music,
it.
like a lot of free music, you mean?
Yes, yes,
Oh, we
avant-garde, free, creative,
oh we should
improvisational.
you know who I play with all the time.
Yeah,
That's obviously he doesn't live here. Is Art Landy, Art
yeah,
Landy, and Paul McCandless and all these people that I play with all the time.
yeah.
I mean, we do we got a gig coming up. I can't remember. It's August, I think.
Oh, nice,
My,
beautiful.
Art's in he's in Boulder, and they go to Phoenix too when it gets cold.
Yeah,
I've been playing with.
when's your gig? Where is your gig in San Francisco?
I'll have to get back to you. I can't remember exactly where it was. I don't think it's all firm. I think it's one of them's going to be at Keys, and I forget where else. I'll get back to you. I will actually, and I'll share a
I'd like to
record.
come hear that gig.
Hopefully, I'm hoping that Isham won't want to, because Isham used to play with
Oh,
Visa Patrol for years,
oh, cool. I
and
love
I'm
his
hoping
playing
that
too.
they might take a little trip up here and he'll play. But I'll send you this record we did called Shapeshifter,
Uh-huh.
which there are hard copies of that. I'll get it to you though. With McCandless and great Alan Hall, who now lives in Asheville, North Carolina, and Art, and it's a fantastic record, man. Just really a great record.
Wow.
It's not all free, but you'll love it.
Yeah, yeah,
Art is he's most he can play like an orchestra. I mean, it's really incredible what he does
yeah,
for playing free music.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
unreal.
yeah.
And the drummer up here, who's the most incredible free person, is George Marsh. Oh man, the drum set can sound like an entire classical percussion section. It's incredible what he does. Anyway, anyway, that's might be something that Art would want to come out for that kind of a festival.
Yeah,
We'll stay in touch about that.
yeah.
Write it down. I want to talk to that Rocco, or I can't remember his last name.
Rocco Samazi. I'll send you both an
Where
email
was
so you.
Rocco's? It was up here? Where was it?
No,
Oh,
no, it was I don't know if you know vibrato.
oh, so those are both in LA, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Mulholland, and Herb Alpert bought it from Rocco and made it into
Was
vibrato.
that the one way up on the hill?
Yeah.
I played there. I
Oh,
played there with Dave Ellis
oh,
and somebody, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, now I remember that. I played at that place.
oh. Well,
It was like in a shopping center almost.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, before it was vibrato, it was Rocco's, and it
yeah, Rocco.
was.
That's when I played with. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was really nice. That was the only place in town that had modern jazz.
Yeah, we played up there.
Yeah. And Rocco, you'll like Rocco. He's a can-do person. He does a whole bunch of the stuff himself, and he's great to brainstorm with. And
Oh, you might take
yeah,
it in. He might be interested in learning about it too.
yeah,
Please
yeah.
don't forget to hook us up, okay?
I have my email all set to send it to you to
Okay.
introduce you.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 2 hours, and thank you very much for coming on and sharing all this stuff with us. It's really
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Well, you're a very wonderful, kind person. I hope we can play again
me
sometime.
too.
Um, you know, I thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to blab.
It's great. I
A
love
good
it.
blabber.
I love it. It's great.
Blabbermouth.
And honestly, it took me a while to really wrap my brain around what Arts for More
Yeah,
was about. But now I feel a lot more
yeah.
clear. And
Well, the whole point is, to develop the company so that the website is not all information. I mean,
yeah,
this website has to function as an give people information who are going to get up off some money to do it.
yeah, yeah,
So, its final product won't be like that. Hopefully we'll be able to have an app as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Do it. It'll be
absolutely.
a totally different animal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty
So we'll see.
exciting.
Anyway,
Okay, Peter Barshay.
well,
Thank
thanks for
you.
giving me the opportunity to spiel there, here and there.
Thanks so much. It was fun. It
It
was really
was
good. Good
fun.
talk. Yeah.
Thanks.
And you all people out there, let me just tell you,
Whoever heard, thank you for hearing.
yeah, there are people out there. And I just want to say,
Tell everybody
Fri-
to go there and go to Arts for More and add your contact so we can keep you updated. We promise
okay,
not, we won't harass you, don't worry.
you guys listening, just go to Arts for More. I put the website up there.
Yeah, and
And
go to all the social the little icons down at the bottom of the homepage and start following us, please.
cool.
And
Okay.
tell everybody.
Tell everybody.
Yell like
Talk
I'm
about
mad as hell and I can't take it anymore.
it. Okay.
All right.
All right. You can go, and I'm going to just blab a little.
Okay. Should I?
All
I'll
right.
close my window.
Yes. Goodbye, Peter Barshay.
Bye. Thank you.
So Friday, I'm going to have Sashal Vasandi, who's a singer in New York. He's been singing for a long time. And so that'll be my noontime guest. Saturday, for those of you living in LA, I have a Saturday morning breakfast gig at Jinkies in Santa Monica on 2nd and Broadway. It's really fun. I sing with Dori Amarillo on guitar and Joey De Leon on percussion. There's no cover charge. Food is really good. The breakfast is great. And yeah, so that's Saturday. Also, my dear friend Michelle Nicole is in town from Australia. And I think I'm going to interview her maybe tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow? Yeah, I think tomorrow afternoon I'll interview her and, talk about, she's doing a Monday evening workshop this a week from today, Monday, March 24th, 7:30 to 10:30. And then at the end of that week, the 30th, Sunday, she and Larry Kuntz, our wonderful, wonderful guitarist, they are celebrating a CD release party. And that will be held at the place that I used to book downtown near the Disney Hall. This great Thai vegan restaurant called Olak. It really is great food. It's amazing food. And in the back, all you see is a door if you go down there, but when you open the door, it's a club. I used to book it for 2.5 years. It was great. So you can see if you look at Saturday Night Jazz DTLA, I still leave the website up just because I don't know. I like it. I like what I did. So anyway, we're going to do that for brunch. Michelle, Nicole, and Larry Coons on Sunday, March 30th. So the doors open at 12. And I think that's it. You don't want to know what I'm doing just personally, so anyway, it was really fun today. Thanks for coming. Thanks to Peter Barshay, and have